Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have a Transformers Titans Return review for you today. This is Monzo and Wolfwire, although it's kind of written as Mon XO. I assume usually like in xylophone X is pronounced with a Z, so I'm assuming it's Monzo because with the original G1 toy the headmaster was called Monzo. So I'm guessing maybe they just couldn't spell it with a Z, but they could spell it with an X, and that's just like a workaround. That's my guess. As you can see, he's also called Wolfwire, whereas the original G1 character was called WeirdWolf. Again, I'm assuming they couldn't get the rights to that name, but I'm probably going to call him WeirdWolf for the rest of this review, just because that we all know that's who it is. But yeah, so here he is on the back. You can see the Wolf alt mode. You have the robot mode here with his cool sword. Here's the Titan Master. I'll try to get in close so you can read his bio. It says the Decepticons unite with Titan Master partners to power up for battle. That's what they all say. Monzo gives Wolfwire the power to rewind time in short bursts, but it drains his energy to dangerously low levels. That's kind of cool. That's not something the original G1 character had, but I think Elita 1 had that power in the original G1 cartoon or something similar where she could kind of freeze time and she used it to save Optimus Prime, but it almost killed her. So that's kind of neat. They're kind of just attributing it to Monzo in this case. But yeah, the figure looks great. I know that Wave 3 is kind of about to hit and some people are already having reviews of them up, but my area is just getting Wave 2, so I was able to find WeirdWolf recently, and I wanted to review him because he looks great. So let's get him out of the packaging and let's take a closer look. Alright, so taking a look at WeirdWolf out of the packaging here, I think he looks pretty excellent. First we'll take a look at the little card that he comes with. Not a whole lot going on here. Pretty standard by this point. Nice kind of solid card stock. Nice picture there of the Headmaster. And then of course on the back you have the stats, Wolfwire, and then Wolfwire plus Monzo. So as you can see, he's actually really high in intelligence. And then we have speed and strength. Firepower is last. But nice card. Appreciate that they're kind of a nicer quality. Taking a look here at WeirdWolf himself. He comes with two accessories, one being his tail and sword, which has just a little bit of red paint there. Otherwise, it's pretty much this grayish white color. And then he has this really gigantic cannon. It almost makes it feel like, in my opinion, you should be able to load a missile in there because it's that wide. I guess technically you could put the sword in there if you wanted. Not really any benefit to do that, but you could. There is a kind of giant crevice in here which you can set a Titan Master in, which we'll take a look at a little bit later. Then you have some pegs on the side here. I believe this is so he can hold it. Unfortunately, I don't really see a way for him to hold it in his hand and have a Titan Master sit in it. I mean, he can certainly hold it in his hand. And he can hold the sword here just as easy. And he looks great. He looks great wielding both of those. I really like that a lot. Especially the sword, I think, looks great. This is kind of comically large, but this really has more, comes more into play in animal mode, which we'll take a look at in a minute. But I love the look of the sword. I think that looks fantastic. But I'm going to take that off for now. Articulation-wise, the head is, of course, on a ball joint because of the head of the Titan Master. Ball joint here in the shoulder, so you can perfect ball joint movement there. Then you have a little bit over 90 degree, pretty much kind of 180 in the elbow, as well as a bicep swivel right above that. And then the hands do not move, or actually I'm wrong, they do lift up, which we'll take a look at a little bit later as part of the transformation, but I believe this part lifts up, and then the fists can rotate in there. So it's not really like wrist articulation, it's part of the transformation. But you do have a swivel here at the waist, and then you have a ball joint in the hip, and then you have, looks like, yes, you do have a thigh swivel right above the knee, and then you have knee articulation, and then you have what I believe is a ball joint in the foot. It's kind of nice because this guy's alt mode is an animal. You get a little bit more articulation. You can see it's just kind of paws of the wolf for feet there. And then you have some heels in the back. But overall, I really like the look of this guy's robot mode. The only kibble is just kind of the wolf head on the back, but I really don't think that's a problem. And I love the Decepticon symbol on his chest. I think that looks fantastic. I mean, pretty nice paint apps, I have to say. You have the nice kind of missile launchers up here. It's a really nice mixture of the kind of yellow and teal colors. No one part seems overly bland. You have the grayish white as well mixed in. Just a really nice balance of color overall. I really do like the look of this robot mode. Popping the Titan Master off. Getting a closer look at this. Really nice design there in the head. I kind of wish the visor was a different color than the face, just to make it pop a little bit more. But I understand why they did what they did. Transforming him, pretty standard. I mean, it's the same transformation as any Titan Master, but I like the gray in the middle with the blue or the teal for the legs and the arms. And then you kind of have these like little ball joints here to get a little bit of arm articulation out of there. No paint on the face. Would have loved a little bit of paint on the face there, but I understand why that didn't happen. But overall, I think it's a pretty nice little Titan Master. And then if you want to see him sit in this from earlier, he literally just sits in there. It kind of just looks like a giant bathtub, in my opinion. It's just a huge, giant thing for him to sit in. But it works. And then you can peg this in with these pegs on the side to other Titan Masters. He might even have a spot you can see right here if you wanted to peg it in there. If you had a second Titan Master, you could use one for the head and have one sit there. So that's kind of cool, actually. I like that a lot. But that's it for the robot mode. Let's go ahead and get into the transformation. So I actually just noticed in the instructions that the feet are mistransformed. This is how he came in the package, but the instructions actually show that the feet are turned around like this. Now, I kind of personally don't like that look. I think it's just a little bit too much yellow in this area, and I kind of really like the look of the wolf paws as his feet. So that's personal preference. I mean, if you guys want to do it the way the instructions show with these turned around, you can. I personally like the wolf paws as feet, and then having this as heels in the back. So that's how I'm going to leave it for mine. Either way is perfectly acceptable, and it's not going to hinder any kind of articulation or anything like that. So it's just personal preference. But moving on to the transformation, I think it's pretty ingenious. It's got some really nice engineering, but it's still simple at the same time, if that makes sense. You're going to start by just popping open these little tabs on the forearms, just like that. And then you're going to rotate and just fold the fist right in there, and then close it up. That will allow you to bring the paw forward, and then you're going to rotate at the bicep swivel. So you're going to come over here and just do the exact same thing. And that's going to pretty much give you your wolf paws. There's not really a whole lot more going on than that. Coming down to the feet, if you do have the feet the other way, you're going to want to rotate them like this and then fold these heels in. Just like that. This whole yellow shin guard is one piece, and that's going to rotate out. You can see where it's connected to the knee. And then that's just going to rotate up and cover the thigh on both sides. And then that's going to kind of free up these to be the back legs of the wolf. And you can already pretty much see that the wolf is coming together. The whole wolf head at this point is just going to rotate, and you can see there's a tab and a little hole just for a little bit of stability. And the head's going to slide down just like that. So you can see that the wolf pretty much already exists, but he's a little too short. And this is where I think the really bit of engineering comes into play. It's really nice. You can see this whole whitish gray piece here. There's these two little tabs, and there's two settings. There's kind of the all the way in setting, and then there's a smaller setting here. So you have to rock this back, and it's a little bit difficult to do going from... It's a lot easier to do going from wolf to robot mode, and it's a little bit harder to go from robot to wolf. But you can see that these old two tab pieces will rock out, and then you're going to bring it back, and then you're going to put them in these two little sections right there. So you're going to rock it back in like that, and that'll snap in there like that, and then this whole thing can close, and that's going to become the canopy for the little Titan Master to ride in. I think that's really neat, and I really like the way that's done. The handle of the sword is going to slide into this little groove right in here on the whitish gray piece. So that slides right in there. Now you have the tail of your wolf. And I really like this wolf mode. I'm going to get in a little bit closer so we can take a better look here. But it's some really nice articulation. I mean, you still have the same shoulder joint. You have the same hip joint here. I mean, the back legs can't really do much else, I'll be honest. But you can get some nice poses out of the front here. You can get kind of like a striding pose with one leg forward, one back. I like that a lot. I think they did a pretty nice job with this wolf mode. And taking a close look at the head, really nice job. I mean, there's some light piping here. There's some light piping here. You can open the mouth. He's got translucent fangs. Really well done. I like that a lot. So I'm a big fan of this wolf mode, I have to say. You can go ahead and pop the canopy open like we discussed previously. And your little Titan Master can just pop right in there. Very simple. Close it up. Oh, I guess he's a little too high. You kind of have to have him smoosh down a little bit. But he can fit in there. And you can play with it. I mean, there's obviously more space in there than you need. The other thing you can do is now you have this giant cannon. You can see there's these two pieces right there. And there's two slots right there. So it can just pop right in there. Fits very simply. And it really mounts nicely, I have to say. I think that looks great. Definitely much better than robot mode. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. And again, you can still sit your Titan Master in there if you'd rather. Take him out of the canopy. Drop him out. Pop him back in there. And then he can ride up top of here if you'd rather. Or if you have a second one, you can ride him on top of there. So either way, I think that's a really interesting wolf mode. I like what they did. I like that the canopy can house the Titan Master as well as the gun. And I love the way the gun looks mounted on the back like that. I think that looks really fantastic. I have to say, I'm a huge fan of WeirdWolf. He's definitely one of my favorites from this wave. Probably tied with Chrome Dome for my favorite. Highbrow and Mindwipe are also really good, but I think if you can only pick and choose and you can get one Autobot, one Decepticon, I would definitely say WeirdWolf and Chrome Dome are the best two out of this wave. But I'm definitely happy to finally complete Wave 2 of the Deluxes, and I'm starting to look forward to Wave 3. I know a lot of people online are getting them, but probably from online retailers because they kind of get them early, but it'll be a while before they show up in stores near me. So I'll just have to, play with these Wave 2 Deluxes that tide me over. But I think WeirdWolf or Wolfwire is fantastic. I really don't have any complaints. I think he's got a lot of nice detail, paint apps, articulation. Both robot and wolf mode are fantastic. I really don't have anything to complain about. I definitely think he belongs in your collection, especially if you're like picking and choosing with this line. He's definitely one to get in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions, so please let me know in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Titans Return Deluxe Class Wolfwire, aka WeirdWolf. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, thank you guys for watching.